Hello,
Hi.
everybody. Hello, everyone. Oh, welcome, welcome to all my Ali ladies, sisters. Thank you for being here. We're so excited to have you. My name is Virginia Rivera. I am the moderator for today's conversation, and I am thrilled to have you all here with us today. The women that we have on our panel are exemplary. And I want you to think of this as a conversation. We want it to flow. We want it to be easy for you. But most important, we want it to be uplifting. All Ladies League is an organization that means to unite women and men all over the world, concentrating on our sisterhood, making sure that we're there for one another, that we empower one another. We're really not about sponsorship. We're really not about doing things perfectly. We are about giving excellent moments for us to share, to be with each other, to build each other. Every single conversation and every event that we host, what we look for is to unite, is to be a bridge builder. And that is why we're so, so proud of our founder, Dr. Harbeen Arora. She is one of those wonderful women. She has been selected so many times as one of those key humans on this earth that really tells us, not only verbally, but with her actions, that we all have value, that we are powerful beyond measure when we count on one another. So for me, it's so exciting to have wonderful women today on this panel, which is Break the Wall, the process of healing. Today, we won't be talking about victims. We talk about survivors. And I know many of you don't even like the word survivors. But you know what? This is how we're going to talk about it today because we admire you, because your resilience inspires us. And we want to make sure that you feel that you're taken care of, that you feel that there's a hand, there's a heart, there's laughter, that life goes on, and that we will be back or we'll be even better. The experiences that we have in life, time and time again, prove to us that if we learn from them, nothing is lost. It may be a struggle. Sometimes it's just unthinkable. Nonetheless, there's so many learnings. And when we share with one another what we've been through, how we have become stronger, or we're in the process of becoming stronger. This is not, like I said before, an easy task. Today we have professionals, but most importantly, women that believe in the power of us, that believe in the power of love, and most importantly, believe in the power of healing through our love, through our companionship, but most important, through our sisterhood. So I think that if you're home, take a minute off, sit down, get comfortable, and with me, help me join to our virtual stage 4 wonderful women that are sharing this virtual podium with me today. Welcome, ladies. How are you today?
Welcome.
How are you
Wonderful.
feeling? Are we excited?
Yeah.
Yes.
I am so excited to be with you. This is the first time that I'm moderating with any of you, so I have to say that it's a privilege, and I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity, and to All Ladies League also. I want to introduce each one of you. I'm going to just say your name and one description, but I would love if you could just tell us a little bit about what's in your soul and why it's so important for you to be here today sharing with all our women. So I'm going to start with, and I have it written down. So let me get it right now with Dr. Anita. And I'm going to talk, I'm going to say Anita. I'm going to drop the doctor and call you Anita, but Dr. Anita, and let me see, here I have it, Caprice Powell, and she's a mom, a grandmom, poet, spoken word artist, speaker, and founder. And I want you to talk to me about this movement. Tell me a little bit about what Tap Into You. Tap Into You. Tell me a little bit more
Yeah,
about this.
absolutely. Well, hi. Thank you so much, Virginia. Hey, everybody. It's so good to be here. My sister's in the house on the panel. Yes, Tap Into You movement is all about tapping into the power within you, tapping into the love within you, tapping into the presence of brilliance, of creativity, of that which is higher than you, which is inside of us. So tap into you. Tap is tap into tap into the trust that's within you. The A represents acknowledge the power that's within you. The P is to acknowledge the presence that is higher within you. The N is to nurture your spirit, your soul, your mind, your body. The two is for understanding and knowledge equals peace and love, and the U is unite your soul urge with your heart's passion and the vision of all that we came here to do. So it is the Tap Into You movement, is touch on trust and tap into you.
Lovely. Thank you so much. I love that. And welcome
Thank
all
you.
to this is our All Barcelona chapter. And I want to thank Mar, I know she's behind the scenes, for really coming up with this wonderful space, Break the Wall. Many times we have so many walls around us, but it's up to us to start breaking those down. And right next to Anita, we have Dr. Brigitte Tan. She's a grief transformation coach, author, speaker, oncologist, and founder of the International Childhood Cancer Charity. Welcome, Brigitte. And I'm going to call you Brigitte now. I'm not going to call you doctor from this point on. Talk to me, tell me a little bit about this grief transformation. How you really, is this the favorite thing that you do? I love your charity, but right now, after this pandemic, we're all losing something. We all feel at times disconnected. So, this wonderful job that you do, just tell us a little bit more about it.
Thank you, Virginia. Absolutely. Yes. So transformation is basically to allow you to be able to not only heal, but create something much better from what happened with you. Sometimes when we have things in our life, it's easy to become bitter. It's easy to become stuck in situation. And so what we would want to do with grief transformations is when I help you to easily and with fun as well, as you see it later when we speak, easily to be able to change, not only to heal, but also if it is something that you want to do, to transform your tears to treasure, to lifelong treasures, and doing that promptly and as well as easily.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Brigitte. Thank you, beautiful. And now, if we go back, let me see if Mara is watching us. So we can, there we go. Thank you. And now we're going to meet today. Now we have Tamara Stoughton, and she is a counselor and therapist and you treat anxiety. And I have to tell you, if there is a moment in our history that we really need all of you, but most importantly, what you're doing today is now, after this pandemic and post pandemic, and while we're opening up little by little, this new reality scares us a bit. And I wanted to know, what's your experience, when you treat your patients with this?
The amazing thing is that in this time, like never before, we are getting our brain in on the win game and really discovering that we have the power and the ability to begin to really look at what is causing our fear, and using certain techniques and strategies to help reframe our stories about how we see the world, based on past experiences, and one day at a time love ourselves enough to take graceful steps, to begin to think differently so that we can feel differently and even begin to show up differently in our everyday life.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Tamara. Thank you. Thank you. Now we're going to meet Tanya. Hi, Tanya. How are you today?
Virginia, how everyone?
We're all good. And Tanya is a life coach. She's an etiquette professional and the author of Young Adult 101. And I want to hear a little bit more about this book quickly. And what made you want to write this? I know we're going to hear a lot more about it, but I'm a little curious about it.
Yes.
So, Young Adult 101.
Yes, Young Adult 101 was inspired by my journey with my children. After our oldest child went away to college and came home on the first break, I realized there were some things that he missed or that I missed teaching him. So this is a handbook to help the transition between secondary school and college, some basic life skills and interpersonal relations, and thinking about their future. I wanted them to have a good start in their lives. And so that's what Young Adult 101 is all about.
Thank you. Thank you. So now we're actually going to start, and it's so nice to meet you all and just have a little bit of, in your own words, who you are and what you're doing. And now we're going to go and we're going to spend some time with each of you. And I just wanted to say that it is so important to recognize the process of healing. Many times as survivors, we want to bypass the worst. We don't want to go through it. And the healing aspect of it is so nurturing for each one, even though it may be hard to go through it. But I know from friends and what I have read that to bypass it is not good for anybody. And so today we're going to be speaking about survival and breaking that wall. And I want to then start with Brigitte then. And Brigitte, the floor is yours. And definitely we're going to be talking about how that resiliency and how we really start that process of healing. It starts with us. Thank you, Brigitte.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Virginia. So, if you're listening to this, let me ask you, do you know anyone who is experiencing any challenge of this moment? If you do, first of all, I want to say from the bottom of my heart that my heart is with you. I can only imagine how you feel. And please know that you are not alone. We're here to help you heal and to help you thrive. And secondly, I want you to know this, that you deserve, not only you deserve to heal, you deserve to be able to easily thrive and triumph. And that's what I'm here for you. I'm going to share with you very quickly 5 tips on how to easily heal and transform your tears to treasures so you'll be more at ease through your journey. Do you know that Thomas Carlyle, the philosopher, says that no pressure, no diamond? He says no pressure, no diamond because he knows that the diamond requires extreme heat and constant pressure to become a diamond. In the absence of what we might call adversity, the diamond will stay nothing but a mere rock. And even after the heat and pressure, the diamond had to be pushed out, displaced to the surface of the earth and cut many a times to be able to shine brilliantly. Have you ever felt that life is cutting you up? Have you ever felt displaced? Have you ever felt hurt? You see, each of one of you is a diamond. And that is why you are going through challenges and life pressure to make you even more brilliant, just like the diamond. Now the question is, how can you keep on going and transform your tragedies to thriving, joyful living easily? To help you get started, I'm going to give you 5 quick tips. And I call it badass with only one S. So BADAS, badass. And B is for belief. Believe that you can break the wall of your imprisoning condition and that you can heal. The first A is allow. Allow yourself to be you. Allow your feelings instead of acting strong. If you feel like crying, allow yourself to cry. It is courageous to cry. And your tears are the glue that help you put your broken heart back together. D, decide. Decide that enough is enough, that it is time for you to change things, it's time for you to heal. And then act. The second A is act. Nothing will change if you do nothing. Even for healing, you need to do things. So you need to take action.
That's
And,
right.
and that action might include asking for support if you don't know how to do it on your own. So S is for support. Having help make it much easier for all of us to break the wall of your condition, to transform your life. You know, even caterpillar allow the tree branch to support her while she's in a cocoon transforming into a butterfly. So I'm here to support you. For more tools, get my book, Seeking Peace, The Proven Five Fingers Method to Thrive Through Change Easily. Seeking Peace is on Amazon in your country, in every country. And 100% of the proceeds is donated to the International Childhood Cancer Charity. And also, go to my website, fromgrievingtojoyfulliving.com, where you'll find even more free tips. And you can schedule a free laser coaching with me, Birgit Tan, because I'm here for you. We all been through things, so I can feel how I can imagine how you might be feeling. And so I'm here for you. If you are going through challenge, no matter how hard it is, know that it's actually life helping you to become an even more brilliant butterfly diamond of yourself. And the good news is, unlike the diamond, you can practice badass and ask for support so you'll be able to move through your adversity easier and faster while still learning what you need to learn and become an even more badass, brilliant diamond of you.
Love it, love it, love it. I think we're all badass diamonds. I'm sure we are. And if not, we are on our way. Thank you so much, Brigitte. I loved it, and I'm not going to forget it. That was a great way to make me remember that. So love it, love it, love it. Now I'm going to go in order then. I have Tamara on the side. And, I was thinking, being a trauma survivor, and I think we've all had trauma at some point or another in our lives. It is challenging. It's a challenging journey. And like I said before, sometimes we just don't want to go through the process of healing, but it's also an empowering journey because once you turn that crisis and channel, change, and it becomes a catalyst for good things, but we need to go through that process. So how do we go about that, Tamara? And I'm going to now give you some time because I know that you work with this every day, and so you can inspire us a little bit more and teach us some really great skills.
Well, thank you so much. And I'm just so honored to be here. One of the things I wanted to share was a quote that Maya Angelou wrote. And she said, "Every time a woman stands up for herself without knowing it, possibly without claiming it, she stands up for all women." And I want to share that one of the things that we can begin to do on this amazing journey of healing is begin to step into what I love to call sovereign power. Okay. Because a lot of the times in this journey, as you had mentioned earlier, it can be very challenging. There's going to be different moments of needing to recognize that at this time in our lives that we are now standing in a place of being able to make very powerful choices for ourselves. I wanted to kind of piggyback on something that Bridget had mentioned, which is that when we are able to make the choice to change, then we are able to really see it begin to manifest in our lives. And that same process is applying to healing. And so with that, one of the principles that I found in the keys is giving yourself the gift of permission. Okay. After we've come through so many different traumas and looking at the way that trauma often robs us of our ability to think clearly for ourselves and to make choices as we're looking at the options that a new life and new opportunities that are on the horizon for us, we have to be able to get comfortable exercising the power of making the choice. And so, with that, I say, give yourself the gift of permission, because a lot of the times, those who are coming through a trauma experience are can become used to asking someone else for permission or needing their approval to say or to be or to do or even to move. But in this space, living as a survivor, a person who has lived to share and tell their story, you give yourself permission to create space, number one, for your own healing, for your own newness of happiness, for your own well defined sense of peace, and even your new life of success. I've learned that change and transformation, just as you had shared before, that we are able to also, with giving ourselves permission to see this journey in an optimistic type of way. I loved how you shared seeing the trauma as a catalyst. That I would add on to say that will launch us into a new life of, learning how to love ourselves, a new experience of recognizing and being willing to believe if we have forgotten because of the pain that we can often get buried beneath, that we are worthy. So, giving ourselves permission to heal and give ourselves permission to become the change that we so desire, need to become and see in our lives. I want to add this before my time runs out, that, beneath, as we begin to remove the ruins of all the things that we've gone through and, let go of the labels and some of the attachments that we have, is to remind us that we are not defined by what we've gone through, and that there is a part of us that is on the inside of us that truly is resilient, that truly is powerful, that truly is already within ourselves enough, and that we are, in fact, worthy and deserving and even brave and courageous to begin to take these steps of stepping into a new life that we are so well deserving of. And so I'm just so glad to be able to share these things with us today. And from my heart, I say thank you.
Thank you, Tamara. Wow, that is so powerful, so beautiful. And definitely, I think that sometimes we forget about the most important person, and that's us. And it's a great opportunity to learn about self-care. We find and we take care of everybody, and we put ourselves usually last on the list. Even if we're the ones who are hurting, we want to make sure that everybody else is okay. But the truth is that you have to take care of this temple, right? You have to take it's self-care, and it is so difficult sometimes to put ourselves in that moment to take care of ourselves. It's valuing who we are. And you just said it so beautifully. We are powerful. And the moment that we discover that, wow, that's an aha moment. But it takes time sometimes for us to know, because many times they've told us we're not, or we believe somebody else. And we have to stop. We have to start to learn how to really heal through self-care. And that moves me over to Tanya. And Tanya, I loved like the theme of your book, because as we're growing up, nobody has a book for us. I wish I had a book that said a young adult 101, right? Then I think a lot of the things that I went through, I probably would have not gone through it, or the pain. Nonetheless, once we go through it, then we learn from it. So I'm going to give you the ball now, because I know that you're in that realm and that you help us with that. But how many times have we said, if I had known this, I would have done differently.
Okay.
And it starts forgiving yourself, like you didn't know there was no book. Now Tanya has it, but I didn't have it. So go ahead, Tanya.
Yes, thank you so much, Virginia, and all of you. Living and thriving through domestic violence and how to be healed through that. I know personally, I grew up in that atmosphere, and there are so many images and words and experiences that are imprinted on our brains. Our brains are marvelous, marvelous machines. However, it just takes in all the data. It doesn't decide whether it's true or false. And then we begin to out on those images and experiences and words that have been imprinted on our brains. But one important and exciting thing that I learned about brain functioning was that you can change it. And you can change your reality and you can thrive, my sisters. And that's what I want to share with you. There are different ways: affirmations, positive affirmations, art, and music that you can use to heal from your particular trauma. Now, with positive affirmations, you create these for yourself to counter those negative words and messaging that you have received. I'd like for you to write down 5 to 7 words. Use I statements. For example, I am worthy. I am loved. I am valuable. I am intelligent. I am compassionate. And I am powerful. I have everything I need to achieve my success. That's a mantra or affirmations that I like to recite. If you've been told and heard those statements about not being worthy, or if you've experienced that, you can repeat, and you're your best resource to create those words and those messages for yourself in your voice. Say it aloud and tell yourself often. Science has shown in brain imaging that messages repeated over and over again override other messaging on the brain that's there. So no matter what you have heard or experienced, that can be changed. You can do that, my sister, and I'm excited about that. To address the things that you have seen, I like to encourage you to visit some art museums or art in magazines or art anywhere, something that resonates with you. For me, I found out that Monet really speaks to me. I like flowers. I love flowers, and I love those pastels. Those have a calming effect on your soul that helps you to heal and calm that down. And also music, the type of music that you listen to. It's been shown that classical music, guitar, acoustic guitar, not electric, and also harp music, other stringed instruments have a soothing and calming effect on you. Those things really work well on your soul. And I'd like for you to create a healing environment for yourself. Some of the old places that you used to go to and music you used to listen to, if that was something that played or you heard during that trauma, remove yourself from that. You also have to protect your environment. We spoke of the affirmations. Also, I'd like for you to take note of a quote by Alice Walker, who said, "No one is your friend who demands your silence or refuses your opportunity to grow." You might have to clean your environment. It might be family, it might be friends, but if they are not supportive of where you need to grow and where you need to go to, you have to distance yourself from them. It's about protecting your environment and nurturing. Fill your surroundings at every point that you can with things that nurture your soul, be it a cup of tea, a nice quiet moment, looking at art, visiting museums, or just being silent in your special place for 10 minutes. You need to do these things for your soul. Take a good bubble bath or a shower or walk by the water. Water is also soothing. These are areas and images and experiences you can infuse your life with that will have a healing and calming effect. And you, my sister, can thrive beyond that trauma, and you can break the wall that attempted to break you and survive.
Absolutely. Wow, that is powerful. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Survive. I think that those are skills that are innate in us. And I always say that there is a strength in us that we sometimes forget, and that's
Mhm.
to be courageous. We were born with it. Every single one of us was born with that. It doesn't cost money. You don't have to perfect it anyway. It's just there waiting for the moment that you say, I'm going to change the narrative. What they've said about me is not true. I know who I am and I know what I can do, but it takes courage. And I have to say, courage lives within each one of us, and it's there for when we need it. And sometimes we forget that we have it, that it's innate, that's with us. And we were little, when we were 3 and 4, we thought we could conquer the world. We thought we could be a doctor, we could be a ballerina, we could be a vet, we could be a singer. I don't even remember, but we thought we could be anything because that courage was in there. That's the courage that we need to reawaken because it hasn't gone anywhere. It's right there. So now I'm going to speak with one of these incredibly courageous women that's on our panel, and that is Anita. Anita, I know that there is an incredible poem that you're going to tell us in a little while, but for now, I love the movement that we have to tap what's inside of us. That is something that no matter what somebody does on the outside, it's here, and that is what makes us survive. It's what gives us resiliency, but it's reawakening that, right? It's how do we tap into that? So I love your movement. Tell us a little bit more.
Oh, absolutely. Well, first of all, I've got to say that I've shared with Tanya her book. I believe it needs to be on every shelf in the schools. It needs to be a part of an academia book. So, number one, it's an excellent read. Um, Tapping into you and being a survivor, whether we are in the midst of the situation, if we're out of the situation, and even if we're going into the situation. One thing, getting a prelude to a relationship is tapping into ourselves. I have a part of a stanza that says, when we trust ourselves, and there's no reason to question anyone else, because
Mhm.
ourselves are going to let us know what time of day it is without question. And then we what we want to do is trust ourselves to listen to ourselves. You know what I mean? One thing I've got to say with survivors, you have a right to, and this is part of tapping to you have a right to grieve, because there is a grieving process. Like Tamara said, we may lose ourselves or forget who we are.
Mhm.
We have a right to grieve that person that was made, that we thought was there, because that person is always there. That person
Yeah.
is always never going away. So we have a right. We also have a right to understand that if we are feeling less of a woman, because these are dynamics that happens with women when suffering from the walls within a domestic violence relationship. It's so important, it's so vital that we be true to ourselves. To thine own self be true. If we are feeling less of a woman, feel that. Feel that so that we can outgrow that. Not suppress it, feel it so that we can outgrow it. So that we can, like Tanya said, get into the affirmations, so that we can get into the bath, the bubble bath, and be able to appreciate ourselves. Self-care, like you said, Virginia, it takes discipline to self-care, because it takes love to self-care, and it's discipline for love. You know, there is discipline for love. We have to, you know, to understand that. And then knowing when I'm not feeling, when I am feeling less than a woman, when I am feeling less sexy because less attractive because of this gaslighting, knowing that at some point, I know in the bottom, deep within the soul of me, that, you know what, that's an illusion. And I am going to recognize that I'm going to stay right here until I get over this thing, because I know I'm going to get over this thing because it's not real. So these thoughts that I have because of the situation is not me. However, I find myself feeling in the situation, that doesn't make it real. It doesn't make it real. Just like you said, Virginia, the crisis, you know, the crisis. At some point, we can turn crisis into creativity. How many times have you heard artists who have gone through so much and they have the bomb of a song? That song becomes $1 million, Academy Award winning, and it goes on for years and years because it comes from the experience. So there's another thing that says your testimony, your test becomes your testimony. So when we are in those, because it breaks my heart. I mean, it breaks my heart. When anyone is suffering because of something that you don't need to suffer, you know, at some point when we come out of it as well too, we stand and say, you know what, I am here today because of part of that part of my life that happened. I'm stronger. I'm here today because now I can talk with other women. I'm here today beautiful. I'm here today strength queen of the Nile, or whatever I want to be. There are times that, yes, we do absolutely life, love, imagination, faith, spirit, life, all of that inside of that. We go through those things, but that's the thing, though, beautiful. That's the thing, my soul, beautiful sister, going through. That means there's an end to this thing. So, and when we come out of it, we are stronger, wiser, and just know nothing is for naught. So if you're going through something right now, you know, just you may not see it. And also, nobody can take the thoughts out of your head. So take the time, girlfriend, take the time, go sit on the toilet and you start visioning, because that's the thing. There's something inside of you that is creative. There's something inside of you that is the horizon. You go inside and go sit on that toilet. Nobody have to know what you're doing. And you start visualizing you and your kids on the beach somewhere, or you and your kids in another house, you and your kids jumping and laughing and going all to the forest, because there's energy. There's energy and there's a force. There's a force when we think of those things and start feeling it. And you start doing that. Trust me, you start doing that every single day, even if it's for 5 minutes. Eventually, you're going to find yourself out of that situation.
Absolutely. That is so true. You know, and I was thinking, and I tell this to my kids all the time, science backs me up. You can only have one thought at a time. One thought. You can't have two thoughts at the same time. You can't. So when that negative thought, when that demeaning thought, when that narrative that was used against us comes creeping back in, like you said, sit on the toilet, say, wait, I need some time with myself in my office, and talk to yourself. Change the narrative for yourself. I am. I loved what Tanya said, I am. And I think the most important one is just touch your heart. When that heart is beating, it means we have time. It means that we have survived. And I think that's the most powerful thing. Touch your heart. And the moment you start to feel that heartbeat, it's your witness that you are a survivor and that there's a reason for you to be here. And you continue to think about this. And every time that a negative thought comes into your brain, say, nope, I am stronger than you. And there's something else that science backs me up with. The mind is abstract. It will believe what you tell it or what they tell it. It's not the brain, it's the mind. So that's why you have to feed this to your mind. Read a book, write your affirmations down. This positive thinking is a lot more than just a pink Pollyanna moment. It's life-saving. It's about your life. And like I said before, when you touch that heart and it's still beating, there's time for you. And it is beautiful when you know, wow, I survived all this and turned that crisis into transformation. And I think the transformation is what Brigitte said. When the pressure is on that stone and it becomes a diamond. I know we don't want to go through the pain to become a diamond. I know. But once we're the diamond, that is when. So, Brigitte, I'm going to go back to you now and say, people say, I sort of hoped that I wouldn't have to go through that pressure. So it's a little hard, to try to tell them, this is for you. You're going to come out stronger. We all talked about this. But where you're in the middle of it, and I think, for those of us who've had trauma, you're not thinking, oh, I'm going to come out stronger. You're thinking, why me, right? So can you go over the whole badass thing again? I want to recapture that because I think that's a great moment for us to go back and think when you're saying, why is this happening? Why am I the one here? Although I know there's going to be something at the end better, but I'm just not buying it right now. So how do I go back to that badass?
Absolutely, absolutely. So first of all, it can be very difficult. It absolutely can be very difficult to say, oh, I'm going through things and I don't want to go through this and why is it happening to me? And when I went through things, I went through a multitude of things. One time it was I went through divorce, death of loved ones, cancer, and financial loss all happened in 2 years.
At the same time, wow.
And when I recovered from that fully and completely in a matter of just a few years, it was just last year, my dominant hand suddenly became paralyzed. And in 2 weeks, I became disabled and lost my career. And at the same time, my mother became critically ill. And once again, I lost my long-term companion. And so it's very easy to say, why is this happening? Why is this happening to me again? Didn't I went through this one, wasn't it enough? But in every single one of us, there is life. And with everything, if you look at trees, if you look at the trees, the animals, everything, nature's tendency is to keep growing and to keep growing and to keep growing. And if you ever seen a snake, a beautiful snake, as the snake keep growing, they have to shed their skin. They release their skin and they release their skin. And that's the same thing with us. And to grow, even as you look at the tree here, I have a small tree at home. It's an indoor tree. And the tree keep trying to grow. The tree continue to grow new things. And as you can see that, if you really pay attention, get a tree and look at it closely. As the new bud coming out, it has to push. It has to push through the bark that's already there. And that's a growing experience. And would it possibly be uncomfortable for that little bud that it was trying to push through the bark that's already there and create itself a beautiful branch, then create itself a beautiful flower, and then bringing fruits? Of course, it was uncomfortable when it was going there. But it is for us to continue growing. And so sometimes we want to say, why me? I've been through things. I have recovered through things. I have successfully recovered through things. Why again? And that's usually because life has something else even better for you.
Absolutely.
And the goal is to be able to have support. It can be very challenging to do it on your own. But when you are able to have support for that, I am surrounded with I have coaches in, you name it. I have also a business coach, and so on and so forth. And so allow somebody who has been through the journey to support you, and that will make it a whole lot easier than trying to dare. It's very easy for us to be feeling defeated. It's just like when you're going through a storm, right? I mean, if you allow somebody to provide you an umbrella, or even better, a shelter, the storm's still happening, and you might still have to walk through the storm. But if you allow somebody to provide you with a raincoat, you wouldn't be as wet.
Yes,
So,
absolutely. I love that idea. That is totally true. And you know what? The storm is still there. And also, we learned how to dance in the storm.
yeah.
Sometimes the storm is there and there is nothing, but you are strong enough, you feel secure that you learn how to dance in the storm and you enjoy that. And so I'm going to go now to Tamara, dealing with anxiety, and especially once you've gone through trauma, just thinking, oh my God, this is probably going to happen again. Oh my God. So, how do we prepare for that? Because we may try to do the best we can. And I love what Brigitte said about having a support system. What other things can we have when we're so worried that this may just happen again? I'm not going to trust again. I'm in this process. How do we go forward with that?
I will be really honest. The place and point of power is within the person themselves, within the woman themselves. Something that you shared just a minute ago, and I share this because I've been trained in schema and CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. One of the most powerful things, and even as you were sharing, you were saying that, we say these things to ourselves. We begin to do things after we've come through a hurtful experience. And I loved how you were talking about the brain, because your brain is a living organism. It is like a plant, okay, a powerful garden. And the seeds, even the seeds of thoughts that we think about what we are facing, what we are looking at in life. And, I want to say, pardon me for it's going to sound simple, yet when it shows up in life, it appears to be very complicated, because anxiety is a very real feeling. It gives those funky
Yeah,
sensations.
absolutely.
I want to share this at the foundation of it. We feel how we think. We feel based on our perception. And if we are willing to give ourselves permission, if we're willing to say, well, if we say to ourselves, Virginia, well, I went through this and I'm never going to trust again. Well, then know, as you are living your life with the breath moving in your body, life is going to be knocking on your front door, and you will have to answer. And in
That's
that
right.
answering, you will have these experiences of resistance, because you've made a choice to not trust. But here in this place of sovereign power and reclaiming your right, your birthright, as Anita was sharing, to choose to be in this life and create something new, redefine how you're going to live, and the story you will live by giving yourself permission to believe something different, one day, one step at a time.
That's right. Love it. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's absolutely true. And as I think about what Tamara is saying, I go back to what Tanya is saying, and these positive affirmations, how strong we are, even though we don't think we are, and the gaslighting process of somebody is telling you little by little, even when they say they love you, that you're not it, that you're not worth it, or that you're not strong enough, or that you're not maybe intelligent enough, or that maybe, and sometimes it's not even huge things, but they chip at you. And that is why it's so important to find the time to talk to yourself. This inner conversation is your internal GPS. I always say that we put a GPS when we don't know where to go. And we trust it with our lives. And this is just a little device. And for some reason, we just trust it. But when we have to trust our internal GPS, we question it so much. Am I right? Am I doing this right? Am I thinking right? You know what? You have to have the same faith in your internal GPS as you have in that battery operated GPS. So this is an important moment for us to really trust it. How do we go about that? And I'm going to give you like 2 minutes, Tanya, because we're almost done, but I want to like reinforce, how do we talk to each other? We thought about the toilet. Find
Yes.
an office, sit down and talk to yourself. Now,
Yeah.
how do we go back to that?
Well, you go back to that by writing yourself love notes or grace notes, if you will, with those affirming words on them. Put them in unique places in your home, in your purse, tape it up somewhere, especially if
Yes.
it's a designated place where you are, be it at work or some other area of your home. Create that space for yourself and post your affirmations up there. Read them and read them aloud. And do that often. Again, those messages repeated over and over again drown out to a mere whisper all that negative garbage that had been thrown at you that you do not deserve, because you
That's
are
right.
worthy. You are worthy. And I just really appreciate everything that the ladies have shared. And they've been just so vital. And Brigitte talking about the grief. How many times do we ever associate the fact that we have to grieve the process of the person that we were before we were told all that negative stuff about
Yep.
who we are? We do need to go through that process. And Tamara talking about anxiety, and you do that. That word seems like it's overused, but it is real.
It's real.
It is real. And Anita, what you have shared in that power, and yeah, that image of sitting on the toilet, that actually is the favorite place in the house for me. It's in the bathroom.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's
You
our
know,
private
it's
time. It's my
quiet
time.
and peaceful. Yeah. So Virginia, thank you so much for the ability to recap. And that's what we do. Put it everywhere. Those
Absolutely.
affirming words. See it
Thank
often,
you.
say it often.
That's right. That's right. And you can say it because it's in your power. We just forget about that.
Yes.
And Anita, I know that there's something that you have for us that you would like to share with us. And I have been waiting. I'm like so excited with this hour. The hour, believe it or not, we are 52 minutes and it just flew by. So I want you all ladies to prepare, because we have something that we do in All Ladies League when break the wall, that you know, using our hands. But before that, I want to make sure that Anita has time to share with us the spoken word.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Right, this is something, it's a poetic affirmation, and I call this Namaste, sweet thing. Namaste, sweet thing. No matter what you've been through, no matter what you've seen, the divine in me sees the divine in you. You're so very beautiful. Don't you know you're magical? Won't you see it too? So you're very young at heart. Reach within and let that little one take part in your journey. Yes, mistakes made, believing in and being betrayed. Feeling residue of guilt, blame, and shame will shake loose that nonsense. Sister girlfriend, it's no longer part of your name. See, you're not your past, and your past is not you. Don't you know you've come through it all? So beautiful, so very beautiful are you. Namaste, angel. The beautiful light of enlightenment in me sees the light in you, and it is shining so very brightly. Won't you see it? Take the time to see it too. Namaste, love. The beautiful darkness of the unfoldment in me feels and embraces the unfoldment within you. I feel you. I feel your hurt. I feel your pain. I feel your love. I feel your fear. And I hear your tears. Now, misjudgments, foolishness, faux pas, and all, yeah, some will equate to you, although it's not the fate for you, but the past in you. And that's cool. That's cool, sis. That's their call. See, you just remember that their perception of you ain't got nothing to do with the oneness of love and the vibrant life that is imbued within you. See, you're not your past, beautiful. You're not your past, and your past is not you. You've come through it all. You've come through it all. So beautiful are you. The story you share is of today. Hey, shake loose those pains and plight of yesterday. Namaste, powerful queen. Your stature is fine and royal, so very regal. Today and on the morrow, feel the truth of you. You're the essence of the beginning before elements of time. Release that hold the creativity, the spirit within you, and allow your August to shine. Mm. Engage your heart, sweet thing. Engage your heart. Entertain not just those thoughts in your head. Embrace the divine life force within you instead. Now, trust you to trust the teacher within you, then there'll be no reason to doubt anyone else. Doubt whomever you will, though surely, starting today, never, ever again doubt yourself. Namaste, my soul, beautiful sister. No matter what you've seen, no matter what you've been through, the divine in me sees the divine in you. So very beautiful. Bless your soul. Bless your heart. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Won't you see it too? Namaste, lovely goddess. The beautiful enlightenment in me sees the enlightenment in you. Yes, it is shining so very brightly, so very brightly, so brilliantly. Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror and see it too. Namaste, beloved, my beloved. You're a powerful lady. You're a beautiful little girl. You're a regal queen. You're all these things. Do you know it? I know it. I know that about you. The question is, do you know it too? Namaste, sweet thing. The divine in me sees the divine in you. You are so very miraculous. You're so very beautiful. It's time now. It's time, girlfriend. It's time, soul sister. It's time, soul beautiful. It's time. It's time that you see it too. Thank you so much for listening. I am Anita Caprice, also known as Artist Angel. Thank you.
Wow, that is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. It moved me. I think we were all moved. And I really do hope that if you're watching this today and you have been moved and you think that this live can help somebody else, share it, tag somebody. We do this because we believe. We do this because sisterhood, like Anita just said, we're here for each other. You are not alone, even though they make you think you are. You're not. And today I'm going to start this little activity that I didn't tell anybody about, but if you ladies will go with me and just use, am I weak? No, I am not weak. Anita, tell me something and we can answer with the no.
I'll tell you something. About me, about you, about
Anything. So I say, I am not, am I weak? No, I'm not weak.
And do I think I'm not enough? No.
That's right. Brigitte. I'm throwing at this at you. Go ahead.
Am I a victim?
Nope. No. Tamara.
Uh-oh.
I think we lost Tamara. Tanya, I think she'll come back.
Am I unworthy? No.
No.
No. No. So the no's, we've used them to stop, but this no is an empowering no. You can't tell me what I am. I know who I am. I know what I'm about. And my no is telling you that no, you don't know me. I know who I am. I am worthy.
Yes.
And really, this is beautiful. I hope that Tamara can come back and share with us. But I just wanted to say, if you're at home, this is a powerful message. This is really important. And I want you to know that here at All Ladies League, next Friday, we have different topics. So next Friday, we're going to have sustainable fashion, but this Break the Wall, domestic violence healing, will be in Spanish. So stay tuned so you can see the dates. But no, are we ugly? No. Are we weak?
No.
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 Are we unworthy? No.
No.
We are powerful
We
beyond
are.
measure.
We are.
Thank you all. Thank you, sisters, for being here. It's
Thank
been
you,
such an
too.
hour, wonderful hour. Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Love.
Thank you, Virginia.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Maud.
Anita.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.